everyone, I have Mr. B with me today, and we're going to do our shelter sketches. So we're going to draw a dog today. Her name's Lucy, and she's available for adoption with Dekalb County Animal Services. So for our sketch today, we're just going to need our paper, pencil, eraser, a Sharpie or black marker, and your coloring choice. And you're just going to follow along with me in the video. Alright, are we ready to get started? High five? Yes. Alright, we're going to get started with our drawing of Lucy. And I'm going to go ahead and do mine with a Sharpie. If you want, you can do yours with a pencil first and then just go back and outline when you're ready. So we're going to start with her head, and we're going to go right about here, and it goes up, it kind of goes in a bit, and it curves down. So a little bit like two bumps almost. We're going to then take that line, extend it down a little bit. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, and we're going to kind of repeat these two bumps that we just made up here. So I'm going to go there, make a point, and then I circle it back around. From there, we're just going to do for the mouth a little bit here, and we're going to make her nose. So it kind of looks like I make a frown, and then we're just going to connect it with a smile. For her ears, she has those nice tall pointy ears, so we want to make sure we get those. So when we're looking at the picture, her ears are so big, they're almost the size of her head. So I can kind of use my fingers as a measuring tool. So I'm going to start side, goes up, looks about right. We're going to curve it down, and then we see a little bit here, so I'm going to add that. I'm going to the other side, so we want them to be about the same size. So the same thing, up, and then curve it down, and we're going to kind of do that right on that side. So I'm just going to start here and go down. So we're almost done with her face, but she needs her eyes. So I'm just going to do a little oval. I'm going to color it in a bit, but I leave some white space. I'm going to repeat the same on this side. And I'm going to draw some lines just where I notice some of the markings on her face, so I'll know where to color later. So I noticed she had like a little bit of a darker spot around there, and then she has that nice brown on this side. And she just needs some eyebrows. So we have her face, and I really liked her bandana, so I want to add that in our drawing. So it's tied, so it's like a little circle, and I make a curved line, and right where that point is I curve it back to kind of show the tie, and I'm going to repeat that step here. And now I'm going to make a curved line, and it comes down, and then I'm going to go back up here, and I'm just going to curve that down till it makes a point. So now she has her bandana. So we're going to show her, she's sitting down. So we're going to start kind of right where this bandana, where the circle is. I'm going to make a line, it curves down, and for now I'm just going to leave it like that. And I'm going to go right kind of where the bandana, this point is. I'm going to put there, and I'm going to go about, for now, about that far. We're going to add legs, and we'll finish that step in a minute. So she's sitting, so we see her two like front legs. So I'm going to go about right in the middle. Right here's a good part. It's going to curve down. And for her paw, looks a little bit like a circle or oval. I just curve it around. So right there. And I'm going to curve this line up and stop right about there. So now that we have this front paw, I know now this line is going to go to here. And I can connect that. So the other front leg, it's going to be right about here. So kind of once again right where this bandana is. So I'm going to go a little bit higher than the bandana, right about there. And it's going to curve down. And the paw is going to kind of line up with this one. So I curve it around. And then it just goes back up. So now we have her two front legs, and she's sitting. So we're going to see one of her back legs kind of right here. So if this line's here, I'm going to go a little bit lower and start right about there. And it's curved. And then we're going to see the paw kind of sticking out. And once we have that, now I know this needs to be connected. So it kind of just curves a little bit in and down. And now we need to fill in this empty space, and we're going to see a little bit of her back paw peeking through. So we're going to carry this line over, but we're not going to go over her leg. So I kind of go over, and now I see it goes here. I add my line, and we only really see a little bit of this paw in the back. So some extra little details. We're going to, for her paws, I'm just going to do like 3 little lines for her front paws. I'll do those for her back. And she also has some markings, some of that brown coloring, so I'm going to add those as well so I know where to color. So it's some wavy lines. Goes in. And it looks like she has some brown over here. And I'm going to add another little bit over here. And the last thing is I'm going to color in her nose. And I'm going to add, there's just some tiny little dots right about here by her mouth. And there we have Lucy. So when I'm going to move on to the coloring step, I'm going to use colored pencils. You can use whatever you have on hand. I'm going to fast forward through this step, but then you can pause it at the end to see my colorings, or you can look back in the video to look at the photograph of Lucy.